chicken? Aha, we are connected. Good choice. What's your favorite one? Ah, let's dribble. Excuse me. Thank you. All right. Yeah, what do you want to drink? All right. Live chat. Okay, I don't know if anyone can hear me or not because the headphone says it's connected, and I have no idea if it's connected or not. But we are running a little bit behind today because, well, I'm running behind today, and that's just how life is sometimes. It's always behind. So, and of course, we have Samantha who wants to have some input. Gotta feed the kids and get everything done. I think I'm gonna need to. Okay, that works, baby. I might need to change the time and date which I do lives because I feel like this isn't working. But other than that, things are going pretty well. It's starting to get too excuse me, voice. It's starting to get too dark to be outside this time of night because it's dark outside. And then I also at some point need to make more parrot mash because I am out of parrot mash. So they're just gonna deal with getting little there we go. Little balls of food. Alright, Bubba. Yes, treat. It's the treat. The happy treats. Hi everyone. Can everyone hear me all right? I don't know if I connected my headphone I don't know if I connected my Bluetooth appropriately. And I've been talking, and odds are I have been talking to myself because I didn't hook it up correct, because that's just kind of how it goes for me, and everything fails. Hey, how are you doing? Hi, and yes, okay, good. I'm glad everything is working. I'm running extremely late tonight, just getting everything set up because I had to feed everyone. I have to feed everyone before coming onto the live because it's getting dark. Give me 2 seconds. Who is barking at who? Enough. Oh yeah, everything is just fine and dandy. We're good. We're almost cut up. I gotta feed the little monstrosity, and then we will be good to go. And I hate the winter. I feel like everything is dark and gloomy, but that's okay. But hopefully everything gets kind of settled in, and then I'm gonna go over into the computer room, and maybe we can do some stuff with genetics and talk about some of the studies that came through my email this week. Nothing like real extravagant when it comes to the studies, but something. How's the little chinchilla babies? They are so cute. Oh, thank you. They are doing fantastic. Everyone is alive and doing well. They're still a little smaller than I would like. They're still only about that big. But that was a pretty large litter for one. She's used to only having 5 or 6. So the fact that she had such a massive litter, I think is really wearing on her. But they're doing really well. They're eating pellets. They're eating hay. They're drinking out of the water bottle. So for being 3 weeks old, we're doing fantastic. I love it. That's the only litter we really have right now. I just bred 3 does on Monday, and then next Monday I'll breed 2 to 3 more. And I'm trying to get back into our heavy breeding season because with winter, it's our highest breeding that we do because the does do better in winter than they do in summer. So we'll start to do. Oh, you're gonna count down for your soup. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Beep. Which 3 and to who? So I bred one of the Californians to the Californian back, and we have Vanessa. I bred to Eduardo. I'm missing somebody. And then I bred one of the Rexes. Which Rex did I breed? I have to look at my records. They're in the kindling cages, the appropriate sized cages. I just have to look at my records to see who I bred with who and everything with that, because to be honest, off the top of my head, my brain is not working, and I couldn't tell you left from right now. But I did breed 3. Next week, I'm going to look at rebreeding Penguin. I'm going to breed her to Gigi and see if we can get some lilac kits out of her and maybe some blue-eyed whites out of her. But then again, I might breed Sadie to him. I'm not sure. I'm still trying to figure out who and which of the mini Rex that I want to breed next week. And I got to look up my records. I got to do some weights. Lulu is a month off from her first breeding. So Lulu will be bred soon. I'll breed her to Gigi. So out of there, we'll see if, yes, you're bunny. We'll see if Lulu carries the boo gene. Do what, Sid? Because Gigi needs to have babies. Because I need him for some dilute stuff. I know he's gonna play with Sadie. Yeah, and he's gonna play with Penguin. His ear's fine, baby. Yeah, I know he got a scratch. Sometimes that happens when they play. Gigi, we don't know. I don't know how or when. How's the champagne baby girl? Cookie is doing absolutely fantastic. I still have her with Solstice. So we'll wean her off here soon. I gave her a little extra time with Solstice because she was a little bit behind on her growth charts when it comes to a standard size that I'm used to. But also, her surrogate is a mini Rex. So it's not really surprising that she's not at the weight that she should be when it comes down to it. So Cookie's doing great. We're getting weight back on her. She's going up, and then we should be weaning her, and she'll go into her own cage as a singleton here in the next couple of weeks or so. So she's starting to get her silvering in, which is awesome, and I'm very excited about it. But she's still not quite there yet. So I'm gonna get myself some wine. It's a wine kind of night because I'm feeling whiny. Okay, that was a horrible joke. I admit that was a horrible joke, but you know, the wine is behind me. It's not in the fridge. That was a twist of it. Yes, I see it's right there. So a little bit of wine. It started with the wine. But nah, Cookie's doing good. The babies that were in with her are in the grow out pens. So the mini Rex buck that was with her is in with Toothless and one of my silver fox babies. And then the doe is in the grow out pen with Blueberry and so it's Blueberry, Daisy, Queen, Princess, and the new minutes. Yes, because I did some rearranging in the barn and got everything taken care of because everyone's back in the barn. How long till Belle is gone then? So with Belle, I need to get her butchered out, but I'm trying. Like, if I had another champagne doe other than Cookie, right, Belle would already be gone. But because it's just Cookie, I'm very leery of butchering her out just because I don't want to travel to New York, to go get another. That's like a 20-something hour drive. And I know I need to butcher her out. I need to, that dough. But part of me is like, but what if she could have another litter? And then in the back of my mind, it's like, hey, she doesn't need to have another. Balta, you stop playing with the bird. Come here. Good boy. Puppies. So I'm at one of those moments where it's like I should butcher her out. That's the smartest thing to do. But is it the smartest thing to do when my closest option really is in New York? Because I talked to a breeder that's 6 hours away and they have nothing. So, and it's one of those things where if I were to get from that breeder, it would be out of lines that are related to Moose and Belle because they got them from the breeder in New York. So if I go to New York, they have different bloodlines compared to the bloodlines here that are all related. So that's frustrating. And I guess I could, if I wanted to, if they had breeders here, even though they were related, we could do line breeding. But it's one of those things where I'm just going to get an eye twitch. It's just, if Cookie doesn't work out, let's say something happens and we have a freak accident where we lose Cookie, right? I'm selling Moose and I'm eating everyone, champagne wise, not everyone rabbit wise, but everyone champagne wise. I'm done. So Cookie, Cookie is the experience. Hello, what have I missed? Not much. Running a little late tonight. I was dogging on Belle. So nothing new. But hi, you want to say hi to everyone? You want to say hi? You gonna bite me? Yeah, you gonna bite me? Oh, oh, you're still so naughty. How's the tri baby and the spotted baby? Nope, I lost that entire litter. We had a cold snap while I was sick, and they got out of the nesting box and I was so sick I couldn't get out of bed, so I didn't do my midnight checks. They got out of the nest box sometime. I lost that entire litter, and I am so angry about it. Yes, baby. You can watch TV, baby. But yeah, I lost that entire litter, and I'm so angry about it. But it's not necessarily, some of it's Penguin's fault, some of it isn't. Yeah, it happens. It's part of raising rabbits. That's 100% attrition rate. It really messed with my numbers. I was really excited for those two. Huh? Yeah, I'll get the bowl for you. So it's one of those things where like I'm so angry about that litter. So, but it's okay. I still have Penguin. I still have Strawberry. I can still get tricolored babies. We still have Daisy, right? So if anything were to happen to Penguin, Daisy's a Harlequin. All I have to do is breed Daisy to Strawberry, boom, Harlequin baby, or boom, tricolored babies. Because all tricoloreds are broken Harlequins. So it worked. We'll be good. Hello, hello. How are you doing? I am just running behind, late, stressed. But it's okay because we have Ricardo. We have Ricardo. Are you a pretty boy? Um, I get it. I can never keep 100. At least rabbit breeds back. Yes. At least you can breed rabbits back fast. I'm not completely. Hello, hello. How are you doing, my Renaissance grandma? But, when things go wrong, it's easy to get a leg back up when it comes to rabbits. So yes, bad things happen. We move on. We keep going. Yeah, right, Ricardo. You come here. You gonna bite me? You come here. Oh, you came here without biting me first? Oh, is it because you want to be a pretty boy? Yeah, you want to be a pretty boy? Is you want to be a good boy? This boy. I love my macaw, don't get me wrong. He tried to give me a lip piercing, so that was rude. Were you rude? Were you rude? Is you a rude boy? Yeah. Is you a bad boy? So yeah, Rick. We love Rick dearly. Yes, I do love you. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Do not lie to the peoples. Yeah, you like to lie? You like to lie. Yes, you do. You're a liar. Yes, you are. Yeah, you're a liar. But it's okay. Yes, you're a liar. But are you a pretty boy? There you go lying again because you are a pretty boy. You're a pretty boy. There you go. There's a pretty boy. But no. So he tried, let's see, last week or this week it was my lip. Last week he tried to pierce my nose. He got me right there. And like he got it sideways, like right in between the nostrils. So that was not nice. That was not nice. I didn't bleed or anything. It just hurt. It hurt. Yeah, it did. Because you was a naughty boy. You was a naughty boy. Yeah. All right. You want to go back? And then also we had Samantha's stand broke on us. So we have good old Faithful here back, which she is not complaining about. She has been hiding in it and is absolutely loving the cage being back in the house. Rick tried to chase her out of it though, flew over to it. So, just normal shenanigans. Where'd I put my wine? There's my wine. But yeah, normal shenanigans on the homestead, normal nonsense. We're good. We're happy. We are moving into our winter schedule where I pout about how dark it gets very quickly. But Other than that, we are good. We are fine. We are moving forward with everything. But I digress. But so fun things on TikTok, right? Because I do a lot of like really short videos over there. Normally they're like little 3-minute long videos. I do them 3 to 4 times a day, except for today I've done one video. I'm very behind. We were talking this week about the dwarf gene, right? And somebody was like, well, you know what? Sorry, I thought I heard something. Dark 30. Yes, it is dark 30. I hate it. It's already pitch black outside, and it is only 7:17. So, like, it gets to the point, like, do we do this? Where me and y'all just chat like this in the kitchen and just chill out and drink our wine? Or do I move it up earlier to where I feed everyone early, I do my live early so that everyone can see everyone, so that y'all can see the babies? Or y'all can just see Rick, because Rick is the most important. Come here. Rick is the most important thing ever because he's rude. He also chewed on my fireplace. Like, he's rude. I don't know why he thought that was appropriate. So the cage is near the fireplace. So he's like reaching over, and it's out far enough to where he actually has to try to chew on it, right? Yes, you have to try to chew on it. And he's just like, you bit a chunk out of it. You're rude. You are the rudest. You want a head scratch? You're going to bite me. Ooh, we actually want a head scratch. Okay. Actually want a head scratch. Oh, there goes the bite. I say bite very lightly. I think he's only ever drawn blood on me once, and even then it was my fault because I kept playing with his beak even after he was like, get away from me, and I was like, oh my god, he's so cute, and then he bit me. So I stay as I go to play with his beak even more. But anyway, we were talking on TikTok about the dwarf gene, and everyone was super curious about how the dwarf gene works and everything. We talked about double dwarfs and like false dwarfs and everything. So that's what's been going on TikTok, and it's been going pretty well. I will say, oh, hello, rude. Well, hello, rude. You're so rude. But other than that, it's been going pretty well. I was looking, somebody was watching my genetics series, and I stopped at the sea lotus. And I need to get back into it, right? I need to get back into the genetic stuff. I need to get onto the sea lotus. But every time I look at the sea lotus, I just want to cry. And then part of me is like, well, just skip to the D lotus. Just do the dilutes. And then I'm sitting here, but then I won't have the sea lotus and it'll be out of order. And my little brain cannot decide, should I just force myself to do the sea lotus, which is my least favorite genetic line, or should I move on to D and skip C and then be out of order? But then my brain won't want to do any more because it'll be out of order. But yeah, love it. We were talking about, I was talking to my one friend. We were, what color was it? I had a friend who I had sold her, or I had given her one of my minis, and she had been breeding it, and she was asking me if it was dominant over, what color was it? I think it was seal. And I was like, ugh, because it was a black, right? It was a self black, and in theory, self is the most recessive on the A lotus. And I was sitting here trying to think of where it was on the C lotus, and I just sat there and I stared. I was like, well, I think seal is chinchilla light, but I could be completely wrong because I don't work with that gene. But then again, I could be completely wrong, and it could be the on the A lotus, it could be like the otter gene in that. Anyone want a husky? Y'all just want to buy y'all? Rude. That was my ear. Rude. Anyone want a husky? Y'all can have a husky. You can have 2 huskies. Freaking Balto this morning. My adult female husky, very calm. We're very spoiled by her. She's very great. And then we have our male husky. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Ouch. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Every time he needs to go to the potty. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. And it's like, we have jinxed ourselves. We had a very nice, easy go with the first husky, and we had to get a second husky to throw it off. Can I help you? You can't help you? You want a finger? Okay, you want a finger. This is my life. This is my life. I deal with the dogs, I deal with the birds. Surprisingly, Samantha's being quiet. She's been on one today and just screeching today. Hi, Pan Pan. But yeah, it's fun. It's glorious. You get to see the chaos that is here. Speaking of genetics, have you ever had a Californian baby get cold and turn all right? Yes. Chow Chow was like that. Ouch. Rude. Chow Chow was like that. It's just so when it comes to the Himalayan gene, it's affected. It's a heat sensitive color. Um, the colder it is, the darker your points and sometimes your smut is. The hotter it is, the less smut you have, but the lighter your points are. I was told by someone that it is. Can I help you? I'm gonna sit forward so you can't do that. I was told that it's also the same way when it comes to like ragdolls and Siamese cats. But the color gene's affected by the heat. So, you know, it'll shed out with time. You just have to manage it. Hello, hello, how are you doing? I have not talked to you in a hot minute. Um, we're talking about Californian genetics. So yeah, just the kits, you know, if they get to their first shed, it'll shed out. It just happens when they get chilled. A lot of times you'll hear it called smut or smuttiness. It does go away. If you're not showing and you're just raising for meat, it's not that big a deal. I moved forward so you couldn't do that. So you got on the chair that was closer to me just so you could do that. You know you're rude, right? You're very rude. So yeah, it's like having a toddler. A toddler every second of every day. He's so rude. You're so rude. Are you a bad boy? So bad. So yeah. Um, there are other colors. I'm trying to think. I was talking to someone else. There are other colors that you have to watch for it with. Not necessarily the cold and the hot, but the smuttiness. I think torts is one. But I'm not sure. I think with that, it's more of a genetic thing than it is a heat and cold thing. Um, and then of course you have the weird mismatched color hairs when it comes to brokens. So sometimes on brokens, on their colored portion, you'll get smattered white hairs, and that can be a fault depending on how tough your competition is. Um, but a lot of these problems I'm talking about, right? If you're just raising for meat, it's not that big a deal. Now, if you're raising the SOP, depending on the color, it can be as much as a fault or a disqualification. It's annoying, it's aggravating. On Californians, since we're on the topic of Californians, on Californians, if you have miscolored, so colored points and smut in a usable pelt, so that's like past the elbows on the legs, over on the face, it's a disqualification. The only time it's not is when we're talking about the dewlap on a female. There are some changes there because as the does pull the fur off that dewlap, it changes color. I think your macaw is mocking you. He is. He is. And he's also chewing on me. And I keep moving more forward so I don't get chewed on. And he just wants me to do this. So he can do that. He just wants to chew on me. But the thing is if he chews on me, he's going to put holes on the seams of the shirt. Because what he likes to do is there's seams on the shirt, right? He likes to bite every single thread moving down on the seam. So basically, my sleeves fall off. Yes, you do that because you're rude. You're very rude. This is another reason though. Like people are like, "Oh my God, kisses. Are you gonna bite me if I give you kisses? You're gonna bite me if I give you kisses, aren't you?" Rude. But yeah, this is another reason why like people are like, oh my God, I want a macaw so bad. You want this? You want this so bad? It chews on you. It's like a dog. You know how puppies like they chew on your fingers and whatever? It's like that. Only that beak can break your fingers if he wanted to. He's pretty mild about it. Most of the time he just pinches, but like just the thought of the things this man could do. Ouch. Ouch. Rude. So yeah, he's also in a mood right now because I don't know if he's looking for treats or what his issue is, but he's thinking that he's not getting what he's supposed to be getting right now. So he thinks that, let's see, yeah. What do you want? You go peekaboo? No, you don't want peekaboo? Okay. I have yet to get that on camera yet. It is the cutest thing. He'll sit there and he'll fluff up and he'll go peekaboo, peekaboo. So I have not gotten that on camera yet, but someday I'm going to get it on camera and I'm going to post it because I think it is just one of the cutest things that Rick does. But my lovely, lovely little annoyance doesn't. He likes to show off on the camera in a way that I find very annoying. He just likes to chew on me and mock me. But his really cool stuff he won't do on camera. Like he'll sit here earlier today. We put the dogs out, and he's sitting there going, Balto, Thor, Balto. And he's sitting there calling the dogs as they're outside, and is sitting there laughing at himself because he thinks he's funny because they can't come inside as he's calling them, so he's working them up. So they're at the door all worked up because he's calling them and they think they're going to get treats or whatever. And Rick's just sitting here like, I'm funny. He's not funny. He just starts saying, yep, there we go. Hello. Okay, I'll sit back up. But yeah, if you think you want a macaw, you don't want a macaw. I'm getting chewed on. He thinks he's funny. Look at this. Look at this. Little jerk. You want a finger? You want a finger? Yeah. You gonna bite me if I keep doing that? Yeah. Oh, you're rude. But Danny will sit here. So Danny, when he's petting the birds and they're acting like that, the reason I asked is because my cousin had a litter of Californians that got pulled out of the nest box, fell from the cage, got cold, and was gray for the rest of his life. So normally you won't see that smuttiness for the rest of their lives. Most of the time it'll shut out as long as you regulate that temperature, hot or cold as you need it. Like I said, most of the time it sheds out with that first shed. Now, if you have a climate controlled barn where let's say it's 60 degrees year round and there's no change to allow for shedding, then it can affect the shedding to make it to where it never sheds out that gray. So, but yeah, it's totally possible. It does happen. But yeah. Make sure I didn't miss any more comments here. Messing with Rick. Live chat. Live chat is the best chat. Well, it's not there it goes. But yeah, so. Whoop. What? Stop chewing on my furniture. Stop chewing on my furniture. Yes. 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 Guys, now I'm getting chewed on. But yeah. Anyone want a macaw? I love you. I love you. Yeah, I love you. You're a pretty boy. Because I love you. But yeah, so that's all with that. But yeah. But back on to my little moment. Yeah. I'm looking here in the next couple of months. We gotta breed Lulu. And I'm gonna breed her with Gigi. So in that litter, we should get some lilacs. We should get some more lynx. If she carries the Vienna gene, we'll get some blue-eyed whites. And that's kind of how I test to see if one of our bunnies, when we get into the third generation of, so what we'll do is we'll do blue-eyed whites, Vienna carriers, third generation. Third generation, we don't know if they carry the blue-eyed white gene unless we breed them. And I currently don't have a boo, so I have to breed them to another Vienna carrier to see if they produce blue-eyed white babies. So what I'll do is I'll take Lulu, breed her to Gigi, see if they produce a blue-eyed white. If they don't, we're in the clear to breed her with whoever, and we can play around with the genetics. If she does produce a boo, we'll just move her around in the program of who she can and can't breed, and also how we work with her babies when it comes to sales. So basically, it'd be a lot easier if I had a blue-eyed white, right? We're working on that. My last blue-eyed white was a buck. I need a dog. So yeah, we'll get those testings done. I'm hoping that she is not a carrier of the Vienna gene. If that's the case, we breed her. She doesn't have any blue-eyed white babies. The next litter, so the second litter she has, should be in the clear as long as you breed her to Strawberry. We breed her to Gigi. We have to do test breedings on all the kits out of Gigi to verify whether they are Vienna carriers or not, because again, they are the dreaded third generation. I hate working with third generation, not because I hate the Vienna gene, just because it's so far removed from the blue-eyed white grandparent that you have to do test breedings on everything just to verify, because there's nothing worse than being like, oh, everything's good. This isn't a Vienna carrier. And all of a sudden it pops out a blue-eyed white baby or a Vienna carrying baby, and you're like, just wear one. So now I just test breed everything because it's just mistakes in the past, move on in the future, not make them again. You know, finger. You want an arm? Yeah. You're not having wine. Nope, you can't have alcohol. Not even for a kiss. You can't schmooze me over for some alcohol. I'm sorry. No, you're like 4 years old. Yes, you are. You can't have wine. Not for you. Not even for kisses. Not even for kisses. You're just a baby. Yes, you're just my baby. Grant, he's a teenager, and he shows it quite often. If I scratch you there, are you going to bite me? Liar. You're not gonna bite. See. You ask for me to scratch you places, and then you try to chew on me. It's rude. You're a liar. You're a liar, see? You're just a liar. Liar. But yeah. You're rude. No, you're not getting any. But yeah, the joy of joys. The joy of joys. But yeah, so once we get Lulu tested, I'm gonna try breeding Penguin one more time. I'm gonna breed her to Gigi because I really want to get some lilac babies. I would love to replace Penguin with some lilac, or replace Solstice with some lilacs. I say that the only rabbit I don't have a replacement for when it comes to our mini Rex lines is Sadie. And I'm trying to replace Sadie with a boo. If I can get a boo out of her, a blue-eyed white, so breeding her and Gigi together, and I can replace her with a nice, well-formed blue-eyed white that I could breed to Strawberry and then breed a buck back to that doe that's a Vienna carrier, improve the line, we'll call it a good day. But I have a feeling with my luck, it's not going to happen like that. So that's going to be frustrating, isn't it? Yeah, it's super frustrating. And then the next big breeding project is with my silver fox. So I just bred Vanessa and Eduardo. I doubt that breeding took. Eduardo is still, he gets the locomotion and the understanding of that. He just doesn't fall off. So I'm hoping Eduardo caught her, even though he didn't have a true fall off and like nothing dramatic. Still doing the nesting box thing, still moving forward with it. I need to get another silver fox litter out of Vanessa, but we'll see how that goes. You are not getting that. No, that's mine. That's not yours. So I'm hoping with how everything is going, we get Vanessa bred, and then outside of Vanessa, I want to get. This is the fun part, right? So my doe Nina is a chocolate carrier. My buck Zeus is a blue. I want to see, technically, if I play the genetics right, I can get a lilac. I want a lilac silver fox so bad. So I'm going to breed Nina to my blue buck. And then I'm going to take, hopefully I can get a buck out of that breeding, breed it back to Nina. And in theory, if I can get the chocolate gene with the dilute gene, so the chocolate gene coming out of Nina, And the dilute gene coming out of my blue, if I get a chocolate, I can then work on getting a lilac. Are lilacs approved by the ARBA? And is it another color I really want, even though I'm having to wait for a COD? Yes, that sounds fun. It is so much fun. I love silver foxes. And I was talking to a friend who, so they're looking at putting a COD in for broken silver foxes. We'll see if the COD goes through. But if it does, I would love, 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 love to get some broken. So I say all this, and knowing how I am, I absolutely love silver foxes. They have turned into like my favorite breed of all time. So let's say the Californians don't work out, the Champagne Danes don't work out. I'm not getting another breed. I'm just gonna fill those cages with silver foxes. And you know, let's say for whatever reason I don't like Rex anymore. Be it mini. Hey, excuse you. Did you just take a chunk out of my chair? Yeah, no. Teenagers. Ah. No, sir. No. Stop it. Just a second, guys. My bird is eating my furniture again. Madison, why do you have chunks missing out of your furniture? Well, it's because I have a macaw and I have a cockatoo. Have a seed ball. Here, I'll have wine. You have a seed ball. We'll all be good. So it'll eventually get to the point where I'll probably just have a mini Rex and silver fox. And if I get down well enough, I'll just have blue-eyed white mini Rex. And I'll do like, let's say 3 cages of, senior mini Rex. I feel like that's where I'm going in the future. Depending on, we have another thing we're working on that I haven't really talked about yet. We're looking at going to move, but we're not sure size-wise yet of the property, if we're sticking with a farm or if we're moving to the suburbs. Depending on that answer, depends on how much space I'm going to have to raise the rabbits. So if my numbers get cut down, I'm cutting down on breeds. It is what it is. So we'll see how everything goes. Not excited. I'm excited about it, but not excited about it. So Panda's playing with puppies again. So we'll see how it goes. Kind of nervous, but I'm gonna. They're acting up. Okay, baby. Just call me when you're ready for me to transport it into a PDF. Okay. We have been working on Excel and database stuff all day, and my brain is fried. Like truly fried. Not even like partially fried, but I had to remember how to formulate things and work on things, and it's just been one of those things where my brain's so I'm hoping. Stop it. Stop what? You want another? Stop chewing on my chairs. A seed ball. Yeah. Yeah. Is that good? Yes. But yeah. So if my space is limited, I'll cut down on breeds, and I think the breed that I'm sticking to, like at least in my mind right now, we'll see how much my silver fox will tick me off in the next 24 to 48 hours. But if I'm down to one breed, I think we're just going to stick with silver foxes and move on from there. But also with my silver foxes, I have 3 bucks. I have Wiley, Eduardo, and Zeus. Technically, I have 4 bucks because I have a grow out right now that's a buck. But in theory, he should be getting eaten. So we'll say we'll have 3.5 bucks. I need to cut that number down. Zeus is staying probably until he dies of old age. So at least I'm hoping to keep him for a very long time. Zeus is like perfection. So I want to take Zeus, work with him in my lines. I'm going to breed Eduardo to all my does for 1 generation, and then we'll breed Wiley to all of our does for 1 generation, and then we'll play with that because I like the body type, right? I like the body type of Wiley, but his fur is off, right? It's short and it's almost a flyback fur instead of a standing fur. It just doesn't have the quality I'm looking for, but his type, he's a meat brick. He's just buff. Ooh, I love Wiley. Like, and he also grows out really fast. So I want to use him to kind of boost the size of my lines. So if I can get that from him, thank you. If I can get that from him and work on that, we'll be good. And then with Eduardo, he doesn't have as good as fur as Zeus does, but he's a nice stand-in for Zeus until Zeus has the ability to breed. Because Zeus right now is only 3.5 months old. He's a baby. So he still has time that he needs to grow and get bigger and turn into a breeding buck. So that's that. So once Zeus is of age, I need to decide, depending on what kits I get out of Wiley and Eduardo, I need to choose who I want to keep out of them. Because I want to make sure I have my main breeding buck and a breeding buck that I can use in case something happens to Zeus. With that being said, I will probably keep a buck out of the generations out of... Come here. Stop chewing on my furniture. You're rude. Yeah, come here. Not nice. Not nice. Not nice. I don't want your little waves. I don't want your little waves. So depending, I'll have a litter out of Wiley. I'll have a litter out of Eduardo, and out of those litters and all of the does I'm using, I'm going to have to decide what is the best attribute of all of them. So, and then I'll keep an opposing sex out of the other buck. So best doe out of one buck, best buck out of the other buck. So that's how we're going to work that. That's how we're going to work on that. I feel like you need something to chew on. You want an envelope? There you go. So we'll work on that. That's how we'll work that. And then Zeus, of course, will have him. So we'll have our 2 lines. Because right now I have like 4 different lines of silver foxes, I do believe. I have 5 because Nina. So I want to kind of start compacting those and working within those lines and mixing those lines so we have a congruent line. Because I need to start playing with those lines and seeing what they're capable of and see what I can expect out of all of those lines. Because I have no idea what I'm getting out of Zeus. No idea what I'm getting out of Nina. I know what I get out of Vanessa. I have an idea of what I'm going to get out of Wiley and Eduardo. Because we had their moms and their dads, and we have a good idea of what they produce, but they themselves don't know yet. So I'm hoping, and then also another good thing is Eduardo carries blue. So we might be getting some blue babies out of those, and then we can breed those blue babies for sure back to Zeus, work on those blue lines, have a lot of blues to take to convention when the COD comes out. I'm hoping the COD is by convention. If not, I'm just going to cry. It's no big deal. But I'm hoping that is good to go. I'm so glad you're enjoying destroying that. So yeah. Hoping that's good. Hoping everything is taken care of. I gotta see this next breeding cycle because, like I said, all of my bucks are babies right now. So, because the breeding buck we were using is no longer on the property. So, it's okay. We're still moving forward. Eduardo is still not figuring it out yet. But if he doesn't figure it out quick enough, then we will just give that honor, so to speak, to Wiley, and then it'll be an easy decision of which buck to keep because Eduardo wouldn't be doing his job. My bird is enjoying tearing up some paper. He's just a weirdo like that. Move it. No, you move it. Ooh. So yeah, that's the hope when it comes to the silver foxes. When we go into our Rex, working on the Rex lines. The chinchillas are doing great. Those babies are. Princess and Queen are doing good. Part of me wants to keep both of them, the rational part of me knows I should only keep the best out of both of them because, that's the way this works. But part of me is like, oh, but what if I kept both? You don't have room for both. So I gotta figure out if we're keeping queen or princess or what we're doing. They're both pretty good quality. They're not the best, but they're also not the worst. My Rex lines, I'm working more on size than anything. Type wise, I think my solid chinchilla is the better of the two. So I'll probably keep her, but we will see. Because as time goes on, it's one of those things where, as the babies get older, they change slightly. They start filling in differently. Some get larger, some don't. So we're just playing that game. And then I'm breeding Emma and Lizzie here soon. So they'll be having their babies, hopefully. And I need to decide out of my bucks. Right now I have two standard bucks. We have Alpha and Lemon. Alpha, of course, is a fan favorite. He's doing great. But Lemon, I think, is going to surpass him in size. And if that's the case, I need to have a chinchilla doe to keep back out of Alpha. But with that being said, I have chinchilla does right now. How's the PowerPoint going? It's all done? You need me to turn it into a PDF? All right. Rick is being naughty. Yeah, he was chewing on my chair. Okay, baby. Do what? Read your conclusion? Okay. Got you. You coming in? Or? Okay. Okay. This is fun. Are we having fun yet? Too much adulting. And then also, when we're in here, maybe I'll show you guys the baby quail I have in here. I have quail that are hiding in the tote right now. Okay, so in conclusion, the average driver takes approximately 3 minutes to locate the package and run it to the front door of a single-family home and go back to their vehicle driveway. Doing an average stop count of 20 per hour. Downtown Denver is composed of skyscrapers. My streets are always congested, pedestrians, and most times blah blah blah. You need that's off slightly. I need to fix that one. It's going to give my brain a brain aneurysm. Let's fix that. Maybe I just need to push that forward. Yeah. How long do you keep your quail inside? These guys are in longer than they should be. But I'm waiting for somebody to pick up half of them. Normally they only stay in the house for 2 weeks, and then they go to the garage for 2 weeks, and then they go into the outside baby coop for 2 weeks. So these guys are little psychopaths. Hi, babies. Who am I gonna grab? Nope, stay in there. Look at him. He's so fluffy and big. This is one of my keepers. Oh, he said hello. Little psycho. No. That's not another quail you can attack. Sorry, my dude. But I have 20 in there right now. I had some that were, day or so after they were hatched, they went to went to their new home. So I have 20 left. 10 will go to their new homes next week around Wednesday. And then I can move everyone outside and download Microsoft PowerPoint, and then everything will be good to go from there. With that being said, we will see. It's starting to get cold, and I get nervous in the cold putting them outside because I'm like, well, if it's too cold for them, and then it's like, well, you've acclimated them and they're fully feathered, they should be fine. But then my brain's like, well, what if anything happens to them and I lose them? So that's where I am with that, because my brain was just like, don't kill your birds. So yeah. Let's see, anything new in the email. Board of Education seeks applications. No thanks. I got an email the other day from our school district that's like, come work for us. And they only wanted like 30 grand a year, which that's fine and great and dandy, but in the back of my mind, I'm like, love your channel here in North Carolina. Well, thank you so much. I'm a chatterbox. Especially on these lives, I will chat her away. PowerPoint. So I got it downloaded to PDF format. Not PDF, PowerPoint format. I'm going to send it to you. Hey, I was going to drink that. You're welcome. See, attach. Look it over and see if it's in the right format, and you want to check anyway? Thank you. My anxiety. Is it good? It should be good. I don't know if it's good or not. But anyway, now that I have the computer to myself, I can open up that study I was looking at earlier. And see here. I just got a new study that I haven't got to look over at 12:22 p.m. and I haven't even got to read it yet. So I figured we can go over it, and it can be. I get 3 or 4 studies a day when it comes to rabbit stuff. Your phone? You're welcome. So no thanks. I don't want to. Let's see. Download PDF. No thanks. I'll stay on the free tier. Skippity skippity scoo. I am not paying for scientific stuff. The other what? Oh, you want? Oh, I thought you were asking just for the PowerPoint. No, okay, I'll get to go. Okay. Give me a second to get the other thing. All right. Never mind. Hold that thought for 2 seconds. I'm going to go in here and send both things. And then I can look at the study. Do what? Yes, they are. It's because you're looking at it from a presentation view and not from a an editor's view. So when you pull up the PowerPoint, you have to pull up the section that's like. Okay, so come here. Let me see your phone.
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay. I'll show you later if you want.
No, I didn't know.
Yeah, you can see it. You just have to look at it from a different view. I'm going to download this other thing and send it to you. Yeah, I'll tell you when I'm done. Yeah.
Thank you.
Of course.
Yes.
I'm working on it. Alright, try this again. With both attachments. Stuffed and fangs. Attach. Sometimes I am very good at technology. Other times I'm just going to stare at it and just die. Alright. I don't want to try the premium next. Dismiss. Send. Ha 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 ha. Alright, now. Okay. So and this isn't a long one, it's only 8 pages, which isn't bad. So I get quite a few studies a day from different livestock science journals, and a lot of them are for, a lot of them are against, and I just read through them and see if they are good studies or not. But sometimes they're older studies, sometimes they're newer. It's just whatever, this is academia.edu that sent me stuff. So sometimes academia.edu is just like, oh, this hasn't gotten traction in a while. Let's just send it out today because it's like the studies you like to read. So this is a study from 2010. Although I will say, if you are ever working on a scientific study or a dissertation, I'm looking at the article info. It was received by the board on 16 January 2009, right? Got kicked back for revisions on the 21st of January 2010. So they took a whole entire year to look at it. And then they accepted it on 27 January of 2010. So after it was revised, it was accepted pretty quick. But it took them a whole entire year to review it. Could you imagine writing an entire dissertation, waiting a year for it to get approved by the board or to get approved by a journal? But it is the effect of level. It is the effect. Do what? Did I? My bad. Give me a second. Sent you my rabbit stuff? I did send you that. Let me give you the timestamp. Breakdown and driver breakdown. Sorry, I downloaded something in between the stuff we were working on. You don't want to learn about fiber in a rabbit's diet? All right. So the effective levels of fiber and types of grinding on the performance of rabbits' does and their litters during the first 3 lactations, which is, let's see, the keywords are fiber levels, particular size, lactation, performance, and rabbits. So so the abstract of this study is to study the effects of fiber levels and particular size on rabbits' performance. 4 diets in a 2x2 factorial arrangements were used with high and low fiber levels and coarse and normal types of grinding of the main sources of fiber, that being hay, alfalfa type, and wheat straw. This resulted in a proportion of particles of greater than 0.3 millimeters of 35, 24, 24, and 20% on a DM basis for HFCG, HFNG, LFCG, and LFNG diets, respectively. I really hope they break down what the heck that means in the study, because I don't know what those diets are unless they break it down. I'm going to have to see if they have a breakdown of words. References. No, that's a lot of references. An entire page of references, which we'll go over at the end if I have time. Let's see, back up to the top. HF diets contain 42% pork lard to balance the digestible energy of protein rations. 72 nulliporous rabbits' does were randomly assigned to the diets, 18 per diet. So, 18 per diet, where's my calculator? So that's the 18 per diet. 18 rabbits per diet on 4 diets. 4 diets? 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 4 diets. Size-wise, we'll see what the studies say, but it's still kind of low for me when we look at per diet. 18 rabbits, that's not that large of a group to look at. And we can start looking at trends from that size, but we can't come to a good conclusion from that size because although there's patterns, we can't confirm that pattern. We can just get an idea. So I wonder if this has been peer-reviewed yet. Interesting. And controlled up to their 4th pasteurization. Remating intervals fixed at 4 days after pasteurization and weaned at 25 days. So they're weaning these babies at 25 days. Jesus Christ. So 4 weeks, which isn't uncommon within a commercial setting. You'll see a lot of it. What they'll do, okay, so when you have a doe, they'll breed the doe, 30 days gestation. They'll nurse the doe. At 4 weeks, they'll wean those babies, take a short break, rebreed the doe. She has 4 weeks to regain condition while she's pregnant. That's a very heavy breeding cycle. I don't particularly enjoy that. That very heavy breeding cycle. You look at a very high turnover of does. 20 does died or were culled during the experiment because of the low prolificity and infertility. CG diets reduced culling levels from 22 to 2.8% compared to NG diets. I still want to know what CG versus NG means in the perspective of the study. Digestible energy, DE intake was not affected. Aha, found it, I think. All right, so CG, well, maybe not. Coarse. So CG diets are coarse diets. Yeah, so CG diets are coarse diets. NG diets are normal diets. HF is alfalfa hay diets, and then the others are the wheat straw diets, the legume diets. So that's found it. Ha! We're winning. So digestible energy, culling, blah blah blah. We just read that. However, an internal NDF levels time type of grinding was observed for feed and DE intake from weaning to pasteurization, as rabbits fed HFNG and LFCG diets ate 10% more feed, and DE showed a shorter pasteurization effect of mating interval than those fed HFCG and LFNG. Animals fed LFNG tend to have the lowest feed efficiency than those fed HFCG and LFNG. Animals fed LFNG tend to have the lowest feeding efficiency among pasteurization. In rabbits fed LF, total milk production and litter rates from birth to 21 days decreased by 9% compared to those fed FF diets that included added fat, which, reading it, the added fat, as discussed earlier, was just pork lard. They're just feeding these rabbits pork lard, which is, oh look, another, I just had another study come in from Academia EDU on my email. Literature from rabbits fed LF and NG diets increased their feed intake from 21 to 25 days, avoiding differences among treatments in litter weight gain during lactation. Post-weaning fed efficiencies was less with LF diets. Thus, the finesse of grinding of fiber sources should therefore be taken into account, especially in low-fiber diets, to optimize rabbit doe performance. Interesting. And if you look at these numbers, let's see, they're not really that much of a difference to really, except for it looks like the high fiber had the highest survival rate, but kind of mid-range through the gain rate. Let me see what they have in the conclusion before I read. I'm really bad about this, so I'll read the abstract, I'll jump to the conclusion, look through my sources, and then I'll read through like the body of a study, because I want to see what they're thinking before I dive into it. So the conclusion here, which is the smallest paragraph known to man, it is literally 1, 2, 3 lines. The higher proportion of LP in low-fiber diets enhanced DE intake from weaning to next pasteurization, improving fertility and resulting in similar performance than a standard diet of high-fiber normal ground. I don't know if I like that conclusion. Basically, they're saying a higher fat diet with a lower fiber is enhancing fertility and turnover rate from weanlings, which is interesting. But what are we looking at? Survivability rate. Plus, if we look at table 7, let's see here. So table 7, number of litters, 4 rabbits per litter. The numbers are 17, 17, 15. Or 17, 17, 17, 15. Those are huge litters. And then weight gain per day is about feed efficiency is around 60 to 50% depending on litters. Mortality is what I'm looking at. So mortality for the, which one were they saying was the best? LP. Mortality. Low fiber. All right, so the mortality for the low fiber diet is 14.6%. It is the second highest mortality percentage within the litters. So I'm wondering if we're looking at the highest mortality being the one they're suggesting, how much meat were they getting off of the rabbits that did survive to make it more profitable? Because even though if we look at, they're breeding more often or they're breeding larger litters, that's not necessarily the best thing if our mortality is low because we're losing those babies. Especially if we're losing babies at the pinky phase. So when they're really small and you don't have a very high turnaround. And these are all commercial rabbits, and I'm pretty sure somewhere it said they were Californians, which Californians are a pain in the butt. I find it interesting that the high fiber normal diet has the lowest mortality rate at 5.26%. Like, I'd say that's pretty good. And if we're looking at feed efficiency, gain of intake, it's actually pretty good. It's 62% compared to what they're saying was the best at the course the LG one, the one that they suggest is sitting at about 60%. So it's a very small percentage change from the diet that they suggest to a normal high course fiber diet. So I really want to see and hear where they find their numbers. My pelts are stiff. What am I doing wrong? When it comes to stiff pelts, are you breaking them down after? So once you put them into your solution, you wash them, you let them dry, they're going to be stiff. Are you breaking the pelt down? So when you pull it, it turns into that nice white color as you're pulling it. And you just need to break down that leather. After you get down past the breakdown of leather phase, you want to rub like mink oil in it or some kind of oil to really soften it up and take it to the next level. But a lot of times when your furs are stiff, you're just not breaking that leather down enough. But I have a couple leathers in the garage I've been working on. I'm going to do a video on it soon. But, it's one of those things. Yeah. But yeah. Anyway, y'all, I'm going to get off here. Thank y'all so much for hanging out with me. I really appreciate it. And I'm going to do that awkward thing where I press the exit button. So, bye.